General Prepware, Inspection Concepts and Techniques. Which of these non-destructive testing methods is suitable for the inspection of most metals, plastics, and ceramics for surface and subsurface defects? Ultrasonic inspection. When a 100-hour inspection is completed, if separate maintenance records for the airframe, power plants, and propellers are maintained, where is the entry for the inspection recorded? In each record. What tool is generally used to calibrate a micrometer or check its accuracy? Gauge block. An aircraft was not approved for return to service after an annual inspection, and the owner wanted to fly the aircraft to another maintenance base. Which statement is correct? The owner must obtain a special flight permit. During an annual inspection, if a defect is found which makes the aircraft unairworthy, the person disapproving must provide a written notice of the defect to the owner. What is/are the appropriate actions concerning minor repairs performed on a certificated aircraft? Number 1. FAA Form 337 must be completed. Number 2. Entries must be made in the aircraft's maintenance record. Number 3. The owner of the aircraft must submit a record of all minor repairs to the FAA at least annually. Answer 2. Entries must be made in the aircraft's maintenance record. Who is responsible for making the entry in the maintenance records after an annual, 100-hour, or progressive inspection? The person approving or disapproving for return to service. Number 1. In non-destructive testing, a discontinuity may be defined as an interruption in the normal physical structure or configuration of a part. Number 2. A discontinuity may or may not affect the usefulness of a part. Regarding the above statements, both number 1 and number 2 are true. Each person performing an annual or 100-hour inspection shall use a checklist that contains at least those items in the appendix of 14 CFR Part 43. Which number represents the vernier scale graduation of a micrometer? 0.0001. What tool is generally used to set a divider to an exact dimension? Machinist scale. What non-destructive testing method requires little or no part preparation, is used to detect surface or near-surface defects in most metals, and may also be used to separate metals or alloys into their heat-treated conditions? Eddy current inspection. Refer to Figure 46. The measurement reading on the illustrated micrometer is 0.2851. How can the dimensional inspection of a bearing and a rocker arm be accomplished? Telescopic gauge and micrometer. The 100-hour inspection required by federal aviation regulations for certain aircraft being operated for hire may be performed by appropriately rated mechanics and approved by them for return to service. Refer to Figure 48. What does the micrometer read? 0.3004. After a mechanic holding an airframe and power plant rating completes a 100-hour inspection, what action is required before the aircraft is returned to service? Make the proper entries in the aircraft's maintenance record. An aircraft owner was provided a list of discrepancies on an aircraft that was not approved for return to service after an annual inspection. Which of the following statements is or are true concerning who may correct the discrepancies? Number 1, only a mechanic with an inspection authorization. Number 2, an appropriately rated mechanic. And number 3, any certified repair station. Answer 2, an appropriately rated mechanic. The twist of a connecting rod is checked by installing push-fit arbors in both ends, supported by parallel steel bars on a surface plate. Measurements are taken between the arbor and the parallel bar with a thickness gauge. Which tool can be used to determine piston pin out of round wear? Micrometer caliper. Refer to Figure 49. The measurement reading on the micrometer is 0.2792. If it is necessary to accurately measure the diameter of a hole approximately 1/4 of an inch in diameter, the mechanic should use a small hole gauge and determine the size of the hole by taking a micrometer reading of the ball end of the gauge. What precision measuring tool is used for measuring crank pin and main bearing journals for out-of-round wear? Micrometer caliper. The side clearances of piston rings are measured with a thickness gauge. Refer to Figure 47. What is the measurement reading on the vernier caliper scale? 1.436 inches. A mechanic has completed a bonded honeycomb repair using the potted compound repair technique. What non-destructive testing method is used to determine the soundness of the repair after the repair has cured? Metallic ring test. Which tool is used to measure the clearance between a surface plate and a relatively narrow surface being checked for flatness? Thickness gauge. Which of the following may a certificated airframe and power plant mechanic perform on aircraft and approve for return to service? Number 1, a 100-hour inspection. Number 2, an annual inspection under specified circumstances. Number 3, a progressive inspection under specified circumstances. Answer 1 and 3. 1, a 100-hour inspection. 3, a progressive inspection under specified circumstances. Who has the authority to approve for return to service a propeller after a 100-hour inspection? Number 1, a mechanic with a power plant rating. Number 2, any certified repairman. Number 3, a non-certified mechanic working under the supervision of a certified mechanic with airframe and power plant ratings. Answer 1, a mechanic with a power plant rating. Identify the correct statement. Dividers do not provide a reading when used as a measuring device. What may be used to check the stem on a poppet-type valve for stretch? Micrometer.